What's the crack, lads? Welcome back, and we're here with just another review, this time of Rummy, or as people call him, King Rummy. Now, there's only one king on my channel, it's King Collar with the big schlong, but Rummy does bang him in and bang him in hard, which is the way I like it as well. 100 CF overall, phenomenal finishing from the rip. He's in this pack with Fortress, Mateus, and Can. Definitely one of the best packs that they've released, but you guys don't have to spin, because I do feel that there are a couple of cons to this Rummy card as well. Let's just judge him on his stats alone, which is very kind of like naive way of judging cards, because it's all how they play on the pitch with the animations, how they actually move, the AI, how the AI tracks him when they're defending against him. This Rummy card on paper is phenomenal, and he does have phenomenal finishing. He's got the ball carrying +2, very, very strong speed, acceleration, balance type possession. Everything is kind of where you want it to be. The balance is not going to go to 90 without, really compensating or overcompensating in that way. But everything else on this card is phenomenal, right? And I do feel this kind of sums up the card, honestly. Messi with a little ball over to him and he just taps it in. He's a very, very clinical striker up front. Both feet, that's probably a highlight of this card if you're not used to playing with a striker that can just finish on both feet. The best way to play Rummy, in my opinion, boys, is to play him like this. You're going to be crossing the ball in from a left or right wide position. And his phenomenal finishing, lads, is phenomenal. Like, that is a ridiculous angle shot. Like, let's slow this down right here. Boom. That is some power, some pace, some angle. Now, onto the actual build itself, right? I would definitely recommend trying out this formation if you guys are struggling. It's a very simplified 4-2-3-1. And all we do is we just shove, if we have an SS up here, or else if we have somebody that can play AMF or, attacking midfielder or centre forward. We've been having actually a bit of crack with Safi Sally as well, playing as a double centre forward there. One small, one tall. Rummy's not a giant, but he is well able to win aerial battles, even though he doesn't have amazing jumping and amazing heading. He's still able to do it. But obviously, if you want to pair him up with a big man up front, he can work wonders as well. I still think Eto'o is kind of like the main man at the top. Now, this is the build that we've gone for. We've actually given him a shooting booster, which increases ball control, finishing, kicking power, and physical contact. He has obviously got unwavering form. His weak foot accuracy is very high, so even though he is a right footer, when he uses his left foot for finesse shots or curl finishes or, those low kind of arced shots, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, right? We've also given him no additional skills as of yet. I haven't really put the skills. I've been kind of holding back on skills because I'm doing a tutorial on it and I want to kind of do a full feature tutorial. It's going to be a long video, a lot of editing in it. But he does have a lot of options. Like, you could give him flip flap and soul control to get the ball roll, advanced double touch. You could give him, obviously, if you want, one touch pass, which is always a nice one. Aerial superiority, I think, is probably something that you could definitely give him as well, because he has acrobatic finishing and heading, and he has phenomenal finishing. There's a lot that you could give him, honestly. There's a lot, but he does have pretty much everything that you could want as well. You could give him fighting spirit, you could give him gamesmanship. There's a lot that you could give him, right? Now, look at the goals he scored. 28 matches and 21 goals and 8 assists. That kind of sums him up, right? He's not scoring a goal a game for me, but he is definitely involved in everything. And this is the build that we've gone for, that I've kind of settled on. It is a bit of a different build for him, right? You're going to have 90 balance, 90 finishing, only 85 type possession, but huge acceleration, kicking power, and speed. This is built around, in my opinion, the three main stats you need for Rummy, which is the golden trinity or the holy trinity of 90 kicking power, 90 balance, and 90 finishing. Why do you need to go so high on the balance? Well, I just feel like where the game is at the moment, lads, when you are playing with a non-dribble player or a non-silky smooth player, so you talk about Romario, you talk about Messi, you talk about Neymar, the ball just glides to their feet. If you can't get all their dribbling stats up to 90 while having their balance at 90 as well, I always choose to have physical contact and balance as my mix, because it's a different type of experience. I'm not going to be taking on the players, every single defender that my opponent has with Rummy. He's not a real running gun. He's more of kind of like a hybrid between somebody like that, like Eto'o, like Romario, like those kind of guys, but not as silky. And also between the likes of Van Basten and Shevchenko and those real killers, like the assassins up front. 7 shooting, 5 dribbling, dexterity's gone to a whopping 14, lower body 7, aerial strength 5, and that is it. As I said, I've already gone through everything else with him. Is he worth it? I think at this stage, boys, when you're looking at the likes of this free card here, Safi Sally, and you're saying, okay, these cards don't compare to Rummy. I feel at the moment that Rummy, there's just something missing with him for me. And I think it's probably the biggest con, is that, like, I just don't ever feel like he's going to take the game and just absolutely destroy a team, right? I've played matches where I've just been, ahead of a team by 1-0, 2-0. And somebody like Samuel Eto'o or Mario will score 5-6 goals if he gets the chances. Rummy seems to kind of score at really crucial times, but he's not scoring a goal a game for me. Sometimes I scored a hat-trick with him, sometimes I scored no goals in 2 games. So it kind of balances out, if that makes sense. Or even I've gone on scoreless streaks with him, like where he's played 3 matches and Safi has outplayed him. Is it just me? Is it a skill user issue? Maybe. Let me know what you guys think of Rummy. But that is a very simple build for him. I know you guys would probably want to see him compared with some other players that I have, but I still think that him and Suarez as goal poachers, they're probably most similar, because Suarez still feels a little bit clunky to me compared to Eto'o. Now, when I say clunky, boys, I do not mean, and I don't want to see comments in the chat below, oh, Suarez is a beast for me, he scored 50 goals in 1 game. I'm not saying you can't score. Rummy can score a hat-trick every single game. There's no doubt about it. But for me, he's kind of in that vein of form of like Rafael Leao, Suarez, Rummy. They're not really those run and gun. And that might sway you if you're waiting for somebody like Eto'o or a Mario double booster or any of the new boosters to come. But he definitely, in my opinion, is in top 5. Saying all of that and being a hypocrite, he is definitely in top 5 because he just strikes fear into every opponent that you're playing. If you have him up front, you have to watch him on both feet, in the air, on the ground, and if you can play with him, he's a beast. So that is it for my review, lads. I will talk to you in a little bit. I showed you the build. Catch you in the next one. Peace.